And it all goes back to my arch nemesis right here on my shirt here, Che Guevara, who was Castro's economic czar, and he actually was a real Marxist, and he tried mightily to impose these Marxist principles on production and created a 60 years of suffering. It's about as real of an experiment in socialism as you can find. It just turns out that it doesn't work.
Funny how that works. It doesn't. Absolutely. I mean, and then they have these ridiculous policies. You have an island, Cuba's an island. What more than being able to go out and fish? You know, they're so scared of people leaving this experiment that you're not allowed to even go out on the water. You're not even allowed to fish from the shore. So, yeah, this experiment has failed in every way, shape, and form, and that's the beauty of what's going on in Venezuela and Cuba. That people are like, well, socialism hasn't been tried the right way. Well, what more than these two perfect examples of socialism being tried by? And I mean, I have to say, I detest Castro with every fiber of my being, but he was one of the most intelligent people I think to ever walk this earth. Talk about somebody who not only managed to create a system of 62 years that we're going now in Cuba, but he's managed to spread that to all of Latin America pretty much. Latin America right now is in the throes of wanting socialism, wanting this system. We see it playing out, you know, in Chile and Argentina. We see it playing out, obviously, in Nicaragua. He had a big hand in that. We see it in Venezuela. We see it in Colombia. It is spreading like wildfire, and that can all be traced back to Fidel Castro. So people in America that are like, well, it wasn't done the right way or whatever. What makes you think that we have somebody that is even more intelligent, more capable than Fidel Castro himself that is going to somehow implement the system? I mean, the arrogance of that attitude of being like, well, we're going to figure it out. I don't get it.
Yeah, and you know the pattern is always the same, and then they always socialists, true socialists, always want to separate the noble Marxist experiment, as happened in Cuba, and other places as well, with the devolution into authoritarianism and violence, and it turns out that one naturally leads to the other, because it's very difficult to get people to do things that they don't want to do unless you force them to at a point of a gun.
Yeah. And that's the be all end all of these regimes. You don't have a gun, only the regime has a gun. So when you're saying no more, which is what the Cuban people are saying now, they're saying we've had it. There's no way out. There's plenty of videos going around the internet of Cubans breaking up the sidewalk so that they can use the sidewalk pieces to hit at the government. But then the government has guns. They've started shooting at people. Starting yesterday, we have reports of plenty of people being shot on the streets in Cuba. So there's no way out of socialism other than a war and fighting your way out of it.